Here we go. Good morning. This is
Good
Amy.
morning.
Yeah, I've got Mecca today on my podcast, Healer Within. And boy, I've been wanting to have Mecca on this podcast for a long time. And finally, our schedules aligned, and here we are. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome. I'm privileged to be joining you
Oh,
today.
well,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Mecca's going to share in this podcast a little bit more about what inspired her to reach out to me. She's going to share snippets of her personal transformation through the
Yes.
work we did together and all the work she's been doing on herself
Yes.
over the last year or so. So, Mecca, we're just going to start out today sharing with our viewers and listeners why you reached out to me.
Um, so a couple of years ago, I was diagnosed with CPTSD, childhood post-traumatic stress disorder.
Mhm.
And and then more recently, my oldest son has gone no contact.
Mhm.
And my trauma was brought up in that.
Mhm.
And and so he suggested that I get trauma therapy,
Mhm.
and so that's what made me start the search and look into
Wow,
getting some trauma therapy.
sure. Can you share with our guests how specifically you found me?
I specifically went into my phone Google because I really kind of didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
Um and I just put in trauma therapist
Mhm.
in Lake Stevens, I think, and
Mhm.
a few popped up. There may have been five,
Mhm.
and and I saw your face,
Uh-huh.
and I really believe my soul was drawn to you. I truly believe that
Um,
because I truly believe I am an empath, and I believed in that, and I believe in energy and all of that. And when I read the description of your work,
mhm.
the energy work and stuff like that, and then hypnosis. I read hypnosis. That was something that stuck out to me
Mhm.
because I have done therapy before.
Sure.
I've done traditional therapy.
Mhm.
Um, and I just wanted something more in depth, more energy based, more
Yeah.
in depth.
Sure.
And so those were the two things that stood out with you were,
Thank
well,
you.
well, three things actually: trauma, hypnosis, and oh my God, I just,
That's okay. The
yeah,
energy
the
work
energy.
is part of
Yes.
it too, right?
Yeah.
Because this has a spiritual component
Right.
to it, which is often missing in more traditional therapy
Right. Correct.
modalities. I'm curious, and thank you so much. I think that helps our listeners and viewers um, be able to understand how this is different than maybe traditional therapy. And
Yes.
it spoke to you, and I agree in that deep soul connection and spirit guiding us to the right practitioner. I
Right.
feel the same about my clients when they
Yes.
reach out to me, um, and it just is a wonderful fit on both sides for what you're looking for and the kind of work and the tools that I use here. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a trickier question.
Okay.
So take your time if you need a little time to answer this. Do you remember, Mecca, what you were hoping to achieve in this space?
Oh,
Goals or outcome measures?
inner peace.
Ah, mm-hmm,
So much more peace.
mm-hmm,
Um, with my trauma and knowing it, there were some boundaries that I had already made for myself.
mm-hmm,
And in my trauma, I felt I had only two options, and they were to succumb or
mm-hmm.
overcome.
Ah, mm-hmm,
And so I overcame, but in that overcoming, though, there was still the pain and the anger. And so in my overcoming, there were boundaries. And there was so much anger, though, there
Mm.
was no inner peace.
Ah,
There was no inner peace because there was so much anger and there was still hurt.
sure.
So that's what I was hoping to gain.
Wow.
Because gaining inner peace, I
Mm-hmm.
was knowing and believing that it was going to show an outer peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I was believing that was part of the no contact, although my anger was not directed towards my children.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was directed towards people who were mistreating me. And
Mm.
so it would erupt towards those people, but sometimes that might have been my kids may have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, although it wasn't directed towards them, I think, that non inner peace still coming out,
Mm-hmm.
my son seeing that and seeing my hurt and anger and me not being healed,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have to deal with that. And he made a choice
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not to want that in his life until
Mm-hmm.
I can heal that. So
Sure.
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you came to me looking for inner peace,
Yeah.
but also it sounds like you came to me to heal the relationship you have with yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And yeah, very much so. And to learn how to forgive myself.
Yes. Self-forgiveness,
Yeah.
self-love,
Yeah.
unconditional self-love.
Yeah.
Mecca, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Mecca, when you think about old patterns in your life that you were hoping to dilute, dissolve, right? Or eradicate. What would some of those behaviors be? If you're comfortable sharing that, some patterns in yourself, either in your thoughts or in your choices or behavior,
um,
what are you
so
hoping?
definitely. So those eruptions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even saying I was wrong in the eruptions. What
Sure.
it's just the way I respond to someone doing me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't have to give them a scary "don't mess with me" back.
Sure.
I can say "leave me alone" in
Uh-huh.
the most stern,
Uh-huh.
cal- uh, calmly spoken tone, just like
Yeah.
this. Instead
Completely.
of getting here, leave me alone.
Right.
I can do this all day long and still very much
Mm-hmm.
still be that strong. Yeah, I mean, it's even more powerful
Mm-hmm.
without the without showing, because that eruption, they're affecting me more, and I'm
Yeah.
allowing it to be shown.
Yeah.
But I can not allow them to
Mm-hmm.
affect me and still, hey, so that is shame. I don't have those eruptions
Yeah.
like that.
Beautiful.
I'm not easily provoked.
Mm.
There it is.
Yes.
You can poke the bear a lot more now.
Right. Right.
And I'm
Uh-huh.
happy with that. That brings
Mm.
me joy and me peace.
Yeah.
To There is a thought process now, also
Mhm.
now going, oh, Mecca, you get to walk away.
Oh.
You can walk away in their moment of speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not respectful, if you've heard something you don't want to hear, you
Mm-hmm.
can walk away.
Sure. Sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, just
It
having
sounds
those revelations, and yeah,
completely these well, and it sounds so much like inner child work, right? I
yeah,
mean, if I'm to share, a summary of what you're telling me is that it's okay to feel what you're feeling because it's valid, right? But
yes,
you have a choice in how you respond And the way in which you respond doesn't need to be harmful to yourself,
Exactly.
right? That
Exactly.
that we can high frequency souls like you, helpers, healers, right? We're so good at shining the light outward. Where we sometimes struggle is shining the light inward,
Yes.
right? To
Yep.
be soothing and calming and loving and protective of our inner child. And not every outer world trigger necessarily has to be handled at that super high volume,
Exactly.
right? We can be honest, we can be transparent, we can be protective. But as you so eloquently stated, you can choose to walk away,
Yes.
or you can calmly articulate what you're feeling or thinking, and then just disconnect,
Right. Exactly.
right? So the aftershocks of that emotional release don't last for hours or days or weeks.
As you've taught me, no self-harm.
um, so beautiful, right? No
Yeah.
self-harm, do no harm, right? That
Do
means
no
people
harm.
forget, right? That includes doing no harm to ourselves.
Right.
So
Yes.
beautiful. Mecca, you've done such amazing work on yourself, such incredible growth, and
Well, I
so
have the
many
tools
moments.
now.
And
I
you
have
have the
the
tools.
tools now, and
Uh-huh.
you have helped me notice those tools. And I just want to, I love it because every day I can stop and think about something. Even when we were on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
not everyone was nice, but I can stop and yeah, I don't have to. I've learned different tools from you. I've
Mm,
learned calmer boundaries.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have inner peace.
Oh,
Yeah,
so beautiful, right?
yeah,
You can journey inward in a millisecond, right?
yes,
And gain some spiritual, emotional grounding,
yes,
and not be as easily triggered, or when you are triggered, not, you know, it doesn't last. Right?
exactly.
You're able to kind of breathe through that.
Right.
Mecca, I would love to know. I mean, it's so beautiful, and I know this is so emotional because the before and after is
Yes.
rather magnificent.
Yes, exactly. Great
Uh-huh.
word. Magnificent.
Well, you are magnificent. I want to reframe that because
Thank
you're
you.
the one who did the work. You're the one who chose to use the tools and chose to begin to nurture yourself.
Thank you.
And through all of this, Mecca, can you share how this self-healing work has healed other relationships in your life?
Ah, yes. My husband and I were struggling. We had been struggling, had some marital issues.
Mhm,
We even did marriage counseling.
mhm,
Um, you know what? But once again, there's just some things that don't click,
mhm,
in just some of the just the talking therapies and the traditional therapies. You know what, too? Because I think we all are so afraid to look at ourselves. And
mhm,
that's where the blaming others comes in, and it
mhm,
becomes so easy to blame others.
mhm,
So, me being able to work on myself and look
mhm.
at myself
Uh-huh.
um, made me really, first of all, I was able to go, oh, okay, well, maybe I blamed him there, where, oh, it really wasn't that. And then besides that, I was able to go, oh, Mecca, you're working on you. You've worked this out and fixed this. So you don't have to fix anyone else,
Uh-huh.
and you can, and you're okay. So what it's done is actually make me be more patient and understanding.
Oh, uh-huh.
Honestly, that's what it's
Yeah.
done with me.
Uh-huh.
Working on me.
Mm,
I'd have, that's where the energy needs to go.
mhm,
And So if I'm putting all that energy in me and working on me,
Mhm.
it is allowing me to have more patience and understanding
Mhm.
and less negative energy to spend on
Yeah,
a lot of other stuff. But
sure.
my husband and my relationship has become much stronger. I think me actually helping me
Mhm.
helped him help himself in
Wow.
areas where I think he wasn't willing to help himself,
Uh-huh.
because I think he honestly he had told members of our church also that he said my wife has done 180 degrees shift. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that just and I just really have, once again, working on me, I can just see things more clearer, and it's made all my relationships more healthy because once again, I'm able to have more understanding and more
Mhm.
patience
Mhm.
for other people.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
Mecca, can you think of, and thank you for sharing that. It's, I have always shared with my clients that it's the relationship that we have with ourselves that dictates the relationships we have with
with
others in the
yeah,
outer world, right? And once we begin to address, right, some of our, we call it the shadow side or the lower, we all have that, right? The lower frequency parts of
right.
ourselves. It's like the law of attraction, right? As we recalibrate to a higher frequency, that's the energy we emanate out into the world, and that energy comes back to
Back,
us
yes. Yeah.
tenfold. Now, Mecca, can you think of a time? And again, this might be a little bit of a trickier question where you found yourself in a stressful situation, and whereas maybe the former you, the version of you before our work together would have responded more explosively, right? But
Yes.
now, right, the version of you, the higher self, the authentic version of you, was able to masterfully handle a stressful situation. Can you think of an example?
Yes. I have the perfect one. So,
Okay.
um, what was it? August 29th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the son that has gone no contact
Mm-hmm.
used to play football,
Mm-hmm.
and so one of his teammates, his mother and I, so the four of us were really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so that teammate got married on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband and I were invited to the wedding, and
Mm-hmm.
my son with no contact and his wife were invited to the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew they were probably going to sit us at the same table, because the way I did feel about that was, if my son did not want to sit by us,
Mm-hmm.
he was responsible for letting them know. The,
Mm-hmm.
that's, you've got no contact, that's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So that did not happen. I don't know if he thought of it or not. So we were all at the same table. While we're sitting at the table, my son and his wife, well, especially his wife, were talking very loudly about the granddaughter that I
Mm-hmm.
watched for the first 2 years of her life that
Mm-hmm.
we no longer have contact with. And they
Mm-hmm.
were, loud enough so we could hear and everything. And I just remember sitting there just thinking, wow, this is really what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought to myself, well, what are you going to do, Mecca?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Mecca thought of Amy,
Yeah.
our sessions, our
Uh-huh.
tools, my lessons, me,
Uh-huh.
what I've learned. And
Uh-huh.
I just got up from the table and I
Mhm.
went outside.
Mhm.
And the venue was gorgeous, and it was out in the mountains, Snohomish. And I just looked up at those mountains and I found my spot
Mhm.
and I prayed.
Uh-huh.
And then I felt so good and I smiled and I went back in and I sat down and I just, yeah,
Mhm.
that was, and the old Mecca.
Mhm.
Oh, I would have probably looked at both of them and went, really? This is what we're doing today?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, I can outdo you. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
there was no want to do that old Mecca for one. There
Mm-hmm.
was no want.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And to be able to get up, I felt amazing
Mm-hmm.
using the tools that I had.
Oh, so
And I
beautiful.
felt even better, yeah, not
Uh-huh.
doing the old Mecca. So,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Were there any warm moments that you had with your daughter-in-law and son before you left that venue?
With our son,
Uh-huh.
um, so when it was time to leave,
Mhm.
my husband and I got up and we walked the area we walked out of. He happened to be standing there talking to some friends.
Mhm.
And and I went up to him. I said, "Your wife's looking for you." And he went, "Oh, okay." And he turned to go walk back in. And I just went, "I'm doing this."
Mhm.
And I just hugged him. And
Oh,
he actually did embrace me back. And
oh,
then as his father was walking up, he turned to his father and embraced his father.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
as we walked away, I just said to him, I said, "Seth, I said, don't let that little girl forget about me." And he gave me a thumbs up and he said, "I got you."
Oh,
So, yeah,
wow. No, I'm gonna cry.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So, how does it feel, right, to raise the collective frequency of those around you? Because that's exactly what happened, right? You showed up as your beautiful self, kept your frequency very, very high. And, right, we talk about the law of attraction,
Yeah.
right? And how then, as helper healers, we can raise the collective frequency of those around us. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Boy,
Thank
that's
you.
going to sit in my heart forever, Mecca. Thank you so much for sharing that. I have one more area or question I'd love to dig
Okay.
into a little bit more. And that, again, that was, I thank you so much for sharing something
Yes.
so personal, but also so beautiful with those who are listening or watching this video. You know, your spirituality and connection to God, I know, is very, very important to you, Mecca, which I deeply, deeply respect and understand. Can you share with others how the work that we did together may have helped open up your spiritual pathways and maybe strengthen that connection with source?
Oh, yeah. Well, because I believe in religion and spirituality,
Mhm.
I, how do I want to say this? I'm so open. My pores are open. I'm just so open that I think the two go hand in hand. Um, my God is my creator,
Mhm.
gave me life. Um, Jesus Christ, he sacrificed his life to save my life so I can day return home. My
Mhm.
spirituality, ooh, we
Yeah.
that is all my energy. That is all the trees, the way the wind blows, the
Mhm.
way the waves move,
Mhm.
the sun bursting,
Mhm.
and they're all creations of my creator.
Right.
Um, so I'm always one. I
Mhm.
am always one.
Mhm.
I pray to my creator, to align my energy
Mhm.
because I am a ball of energy.
Yes.
I need to be aligned with Jesus Christ, and
Mhm.
I need my light to keep shining where that light that's shining comes once again from my creator,
Mhm.
and through my spirituality and through me believing in the energy and in the crystals, I think that just opens me up to receive everything that my creator has for me that much more.
Mhm.
I truly do.
Sure.
I
Well,
mean, yeah.
and you and I worked on meditation and specifically what I refer to as mystical meditation, which is all about, I mean, there's so many things that happen in turning down or deactivating the primitive mind, the part of our mind that keeps us in fight or flight, right?
Yes.
And activating the higher mind. And some people could refer to it as, the God mind or creator mind, right? I believe meditation actually is the highest form of prayer. Do you think the meditation tools that you learned in this space helped you in some way?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like you said, that's right. The meditation,
Mm-hmm.
it does. It opens up all your senses and your port. And so it allows you to receive.
Mm,
It allows you to receive that energy and that light. Yeah,
absolutely, right.
absolutely.
Because
Yes.
as humans, right, we have these humanoid tendencies to get
Right.
triggered, to lower our frequency, right? But in a deep meditative state, when we're in that theta, right,
Mhm.
state, and our brain waves are slowing down, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? We
Yeah.
are opening up our spiritual pathways and we're almost surrendering,
Yes, that's
right?
exactly what it is. Yep.
Surrendering those
It's yes.
lower frequency humanoid tendencies and just saying, Creator, I'm open, I'm ready,
Right.
lead me.
Right. And it's just like my prayer. So, and they're both hand in hand for me. So I have my prayer and my meditation.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's both forms of me opening up
Uh-huh.
to receive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
So,
opening up
so
to receive.
beautiful. Well, and I appreciate you sharing that. Sometimes, once in a while, Mecca, I'll get people who are spiritual but connected to a church, and they're a little bit confused as to the work that I do, and does it fly in the face of what they believe? And you would say to those people, what?
I would say it absolutely does. Okay,
It,
my
it, it, it
opinion,
does it
it
does
flies,
connect.
it does connect.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in so the meditation, the hypnosis to me, I understand what you're saying because there are religions
Mm-hmm.
that believe therapy and hypnosis, they're mind tricks and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
no, it's so far
Uh-huh.
from not being that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I
Uh-huh.
believe the two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I am very happy the church I happen to attend, we believe in therapy. We
Uh-huh.
believe in hypnosis. They know that, we believe in what's healthiest for our bodies and our minds.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we believe in. And so um I would say I understand. I would say if you can open up your thought process,
Yeah.
open up your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it and you may find the two align. You may find that your religion, you get more out of your religion
Mm-hmm.
if you open up your heart and your mind and your thought process.
That's beautiful. Oh,
That's what I would say.
that's absolutely beautiful, right? Because I do believe faith and spirituality can be a wonderful tool and anchor in helping promote self-healing,
Yes.
right? And whenever possible, I try to meld those two. Even though, truth be told, people come to me with all different beliefs and backgrounds, all are welcome, and I'm
Right.
happy to work within the framework that is most comfortable to them.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that's the beauty of this work. And Mecca, what a beautiful interview this is with you. And my heart is filled with such tremendous gratitude to you for sharing your experiences and spending time in my space, and also just being a beacon of light
Thank you.
in the community, in the world. And again, like I said, raising the collective frequency of others around you. I celebrate you. I'm excited to watch your journey unfold in the seasons ahead, because in
Yes.
you I have sensed from day one an incredible leader. An incredible leader. And I know things will start to really build momentum now that you've done this work. And of course, you're always
Yes.
welcome back
Oh,
in
and you
my
know, I'm gonna,
space.
yes, I have
Always.
classes to sign up for. I just had to wait till I got back from this fabulous vacation.
Oh, it's amazing. Lots of healing going on, lots of engaging the inner child, and enjoying life now with a sense of wild abandon.
And
It's so
that's what I wanted to
beautiful.
tell you also. This traveling, all these vacations
Yeah.
is also a result of the work we've done. Just
Mhm.
me being free myself of
Yeah.
things that I can't control,
Yeah.
that were never meant for me to control,
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
flying,
Absolutely.
spreading my wings. Thank
Oh,
you
it's
so much,
so,
Amy.
oh,
Thank you.
well, I appreciate you. Mecca, what again, thank you so much for spending time with our viewers and listeners. They're going to get so much out of this recording. And
Thank you
you're
so
such a
much.
beautiful soul. And I just seeing your face just makes me so happy and so proud of this tremendous self healing journey you're on. So much love and hugs.
Yes, love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. And we'll talk soon. Thank you
Okay.
again, Mecca. Have a
You're welcome.
wonderful
Thank you.
weekend.
You
Thank
also.
you. Thank you. Bye
Bye
now.
bye.